welcome to TuVues podcast. Happy to be with y'all on this April 22nd with a new topic for y'all. And so we're just gonna jump right in and have Kevin take it away.
I'm doing that, man. All right, man. The boys back, man. TuVues podcast in the building, man. What up with y'all, man? What up?
Oh man, it's been that camera done messed up again, man. Every time we get to the two huh?
Come on, just keep going, man.
Every time we get to the TuVues podcast, it cut out.
It is what it is, man. We're gonna keep going, man.
All right, we're gonna keep it moving, man. We got Dr. Keith here, man, with Bishop Eddie.
You know what, man?
All right, man. All right, let's go ahead and jump it off, man. Kick us off, man. I know we got a new segment, so I'm gonna let you jump us off, man.
All right, man. So, innovation. All right, man. So, I've been seeing stuff lately, man, and it's stuff just been aggravating me, man. Just be aggravating me. Things like people putting out subliminals and stuff, and it's hard to understand. People want to cipher through cryptic messages, man. So this new segment, man, it's called Read Between the Lines with KFG. Read Between the Lines with KFG. All right, so this is just a segment where we just gonna a post or somebody Instagram post or any type of post or any type of message news and trying to decipher it and getting the real out of stuff, right? Not beating around the bush. Let's get the real out of stuff. So man, it was this message I got sent to us, man. I got sent that on Instagram that was interesting, man. Let me pull it up real quick. I want to read this to y'all. And then this is kind of like a read between the line, but also tell me why you're mad. Because this message annoyed me to my core. All right. So this is what it reads. It says, it's from this page on Instagram. The person's Instagram is simply Shanika. And the message says, it's somebody writing her, I believe, the Simply Shanika girl. And it says, hi all, this post isn't about dating more than about standards and friendships. I met this man last year. I want y'all to listen closely to this message. Please, please. And if I'm wrong with how I feel, let me know. Okay. I met this man last year and we had 3 dates. And later decided that we were better off as friends, which we have been now since we have been since a year now. Today we met obviously in quotations as friends, and we met him and I together, just us two, for drinks along the river in Paris. Later we walked to his place, which is in the area, and he went in and left me standing outside waiting for my Uber for 20 minutes alone outside. I went through a huge trauma regarding armed robbery 3 months ago, and being alone outside in an unfamiliar area still scares me. And he knows that. Am I wrong for setting my standards like this for my friends? What do y'all think? And then she goes on to say, the sidewalk rule. I think I missed the part. Hold on. Sidewalk rule. I'm just gonna read it. The sidewalk rule was more or less a joke, although it was appreciated. But the way I was in the street waiting for my Uber that took almost 20 minutes, actually left me disappointed. Even though obviously we don't date anymore and we are building our friendship, it does left me surprised. I guess it did leave me surprised, honestly disappointed. My circle is small. When I care about someone, like I do about you, I really do care about everything. I think since her text message to him, I remember every detail from the birthdays to like your favorite ice cream taste and any other effing detail. To me, caring is through action. And even though you mentioned multiple times today you don't care about me, it's moments like these where it shows me and I'm just surprised. I want to read that again so y'all can catch that. Or did you catch it, Keith? Did you get something?
I caught it, but I think we're gonna think differently on it.
I want you to go first, then.
No, bro, no.
So I'm gonna rephrase it. All right. So she met this guy. They went on a couple of dates. Cool. They said let's be friends. Cool. All right. They met back up. They've been friends for a year. Right back up. Went on this date. He left her outside on the curb while she's waiting for her Uber, and she mad. She mad because she hold her friends to a certain standard, and he fell to that standard. Man, if y'all think this about friendship, y'all some fools. I'm finna tell y'all straight up from the man's perspective. Y'all, she not getting away with this one, bro. We gonna feel different. Now, let me ask this question to you first, Keith.
Mm-hmm.
Would you have left her on the sidewalk wait for her Uber by herself?
No, we're not.
Now you ask me the same question.
Kevin, would you have left her on the sidewalk waiting for her Uber?
No, I would not. But watch this, Keith.
Uh-huh.
She said, we met last year for a couple of dates. Decided that we were better off as friends and have been that way for a year now. Now, this part, I'm just going to skip this. Today, we met, obviously, as friends. Now, listen to where they met and what they did, Keith. We met, and him and I together, just us two, she said, for drinks along the river in Paris. Later, we walked to his place.
Mm-hmm.
He left me outside standing there waiting for Uber. She left a lot of stuff out of this story, bro.
Like what?
There's some things missing. And this is just my interpretation. I feel like there's more to this post, but I'm gonna post it on the thing. But Keith, I'm meeting with a girl, just us two, for drinks on the river in Paris. We walk back to my place.
So you think
Keith,
there's a romantic component?
That ain't no friendship. 100%. This is the thing. She may think it's a friendship level. He doesn't. He has not gotten a picture, bro.
Okay.
He has not got a picture. And I don't think she made it clear to him that was a picture, bro. She left some stuff out there. Keith, ain't no reason as a friend, no friend I know on earth that would think it's completely a friendship. Y'all walk back to his place and he get mad and leave you outside waiting for your Uber. Keith, this boy thought he was getting him son. Come on, let's not. And this is just my interpretation. Buddy was led on to think there was more. Like, I'm not going out on a date I'm not going out with a friend to have drinks along the river in Paris, bro. Man, we're not like that, bro. That doesn't make sense to me to be in this romantic setting. Oh, we're just friends. Let's walk back to your place. What? Keith, come on, you can't. You gotta read between these lines, bro.
I'm gonna read between the lines, but I'm gonna ask you a question before you do. Because your camera went out, you gotta look down. And your camera went up, so it's your down camera now. That's your camera.
Okay. I got you.
I'm gonna ask you a question though. Let's say you go on a date, right? And it ain't what you seen, what you wanted to be. In fact, does that negate the level of chivalry that you're going to show? Regardless of what the intention or what I thought was his process was her process. If it was you and you're on a date and say it was a friend and your intentions were that you felt like it was more than what it was, but it ended up not being that, is your level of chivalry going to diminish?
But this is why I said to you, and this is why I asked you this. I said, ask me the same question. And what was my response? No, I would not have left her standing out there.
Right.
But what my point is, it's the guy is made out to look bad. Should he have stayed out with her? Yes. But man, we gotta stop giving passes on people wanting relationship things, but not being in a relationship. Want to go on dates, but don't want to be a date.
Yeah,
that has to
I agree with that.
This dude was clearly led on, bro.
Yeah, and but I want to make sure what I'm saying is there's ownership and fault on both, right? Like you said, like this has been presented, and like you said, doing relationship things without the relationship. So it's like having your getting something for nothing. Like you want the intimacy, the romanticism of a relationship, but not the title, right? So she has fault in it too. But just because somebody's at fault at something doesn't negate who you are and your level of chivalry that you present. So I think both at fault. I don't think he can get away with it either.
No, and I'm not saying he. Like, I'm clearly not saying he in the right for leaving her on the curb. I think he bogus for doing that. But then when her message to him is it was crazy to me is that like she waited for Uber for 20 minutes. He both for that. It left her disappointed.
Mhm.
We don't date anymore, and we are building our friendship. And it left her disappointed. But she go on to say like, I remember everything about my friends. What you like for ice cream and bro, bro. We men are simple.
Mhm.
If a woman invests all that that time to learn all that stuff about us, women don't invest women don't invest that time for nothing, bro. Women don't invest time to learn everything about a person for nothing, bro.
Yeah. And on the level of going the same line that you taking, the question is, would you have went on the same voyage or trip or pseudo date with a female friend, right? If it's not like why if this romanticized date, the same one you went on with this man, if you look, can you look back on and say I would have took one of my female friends on that same date? And if you say no, I think it is leading them on. I think you want this romanticized date without the title, but want to just say he's just a friend and you treat him like all friends. Apparently you don't. Apparently you don't treat him like you treat all your friends because you wouldn't take your female friends on that same date, right? Or that same outing.
Bro,
So how you treat them the
exactly.
same?
And my thing also is that like on the same question on the man's side, would I have taken another woman out as a friend, one of my female friends out on that type of a date? Like, what if I done that same type of date, or we went to Chili's, Five Guys or something? I mean, and had a chat and had a few drinks, or to a bar and sat at the bar and had a few drinks, right? Like we ca- we c- we can't we can't blur the lines, bro. The lines can't be blurred for us. Some men are simple. Like women, we thought y'all knew us. We ain't that hard, bro. Like
Mm-hmm.
our expectation when we think something is something to us. We don't play the back and forth game. So don't
Mm-hmm.
try to play both sides of the pot and think he should be fine with it. We're just friends, and you thought it was more. No, you let it on to be more, and that's not fair, bro.
Yeah, but on the flip side, we as men gotta think like, hey, just because I'm being done wrong, don't let that influence who I am on a normal basis, right? So if there's something I do, if I stand next to you on your left, if I'm practicing all the forms of chivalry, if there's something that I do that just me, don't let a bad experience stop that, right? But I'm not. I don't even know if I read this in that, right? Is he saying like he like, man, you ain't giving me no place, so I went in the house? Or is it just like we just friends? So I figure you can handle yourself. What I'm saying, so like you said, it's trying to kind of painting him out to be like a guy who just left her, but there is no like there's pieces missing.
Exactly.
There's pieces missing.
Either way you look at it, he looks bad, right? Either way, if
Yeah,
he was just like we're just friends, let me outside, or I thought it was more than what, forget you left outside, like, and he's wrong. And if she had this trauma that you knew about people she was robbed or something
right.
before, then you right, you got to be a man to stand up for that. But what my thing is not is yes, this whole post, everybody commented are focused on what the guy did. But let's pull back a little bit, man. Like
Right.
let's pull back a little bit. We agree he wrong.
He's
Cool.
wrong. Right. We know that.
But
But you
come
let him
on,
off.
man. Like we can't let her get away with what she pulled
Well,
off, bro. That's some grimy junk, bro.
well, I won't say we can say led on. I would say more of she painted a different picture, right? She painted a different picture, which made led him to believe something that wasn't true. Like, man, oh, she want me to take her out to this festival. Like even though that may had not have been your intention, that's what you did. And like you said, are you wanting the pieces of relationship without actually having the title? Like, what was your motivation for the walk along the river in Paris, and it's like, what was your motivation for that? Was it just to have a good time? And I think you wanted that romanticized situation without the title, and that on her part, that's wrong.
Yeah, and before we move on, man, let me put people up on KFG's. I don't want to call it game, but how I believe men are. It might be totally different. What Keith think?
Probably not.
Men cannot be friends with somebody they've already dated. Now, what? Let me not say that. Not be friends. They cannot differentiate between. It's sometimes the line get blurry between two. And what I mean, for instance, is if we went out on 3 or 4 dates, I found you attractive. There was something about you that attracted me to you. So that doesn't just die, right? That doesn't just go away. And if you lead a man, if a man think there's a possibility, there's any type of possibility for there to be anything else, like going on a romanticized date, that pops back in their head because that attraction they had initially doesn't disappear, right? If it was a childhood friend, y'all was childhood friends when y'all was young and y'all came up, yeah, cool, whatever. But we went out on 3 or 4 dates. And it doesn't say if y'all was actually sexually intimate or anything like that either in this either. Like that would complicate it also. Women, once those boundaries are crossed, friendships are hard. Friendships aren't, let me not say they're not possible. But for men, it's our duty. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying?
But I get what you're saying, but I think you kind of I do think like especially in this case, you go on 3 dates and then you like, I'm just gonna say it like if I was going to talk to my boys, I'm talking to you, LeVar, Wayne, Josh, like, hey man, went on 3 dates, man, she ain't feeling me, bro. But as soon as you say, hey, let's go do this event that seems to be romanticized, I think I'm back in there like swimwear.
Like swimwear, bro.
Like it's very difficult for us to separate that, especially when you're going on a romantic event like that. That's difficult. If you say, man, let's go to a concert, let's go to a bar and get drinks, like, but it just seemed like that was an intimate time. I think that's where it's messed up at.
And if y'all had sex, forget about it.
Mm-hmm.
Forget. Once y'all have relations, that unless you divorce like us, and it's like, I ain't,
yeah,
right? Once you have that thing, I'm just trying to put y'all up on how men think, right? Like, now, I'm gonna say all men, but some men think this way. Like, you can't blur those lines. If you want to be just friends, never cross certain lines. Never cross certain lines. Don't do certain things. You knew you want to just be friends before the 3rd or 4th date, bro. You had to have known. And if you didn't, you shouldn't have not crossed any boundaries until you knew for a fact what you wanted. That's just me. I'm just, hey, this KFG, and I'm just reading between the lines, man. I'm just reading between the lines, brother. That's it. That's about it, bro.
All right. I like that one. I like that. I wonder what you got for us next time we meet, man. You gonna find us another story we can read between them lines? But I do get it, man. I just think like once you go on a date, you go 2, 3 dates, and then you cut me off and say, "No, I just want to be friends," and then you want to take me out on another romanticized outing, I feel like I'm back in there like swimwear. Like I got a chance now. Like this is more than this ain't just going out. I mean, I'm not. I don't think we the only men that would think like that. I think most men would.
And we walk back to his place, and I just stand outside and wait for an Uber. I'm telling you right now, he thought he was finna get some. You can't. I wish the guy could have responded, bro. That's why. Well, all these stuff, I just want the other side to just come in. I'm gonna be the voice of the other side. I am the voice of the other side.
Or for your new session, you read story, we go over session, and then I play the other part. I turn into
that too.
That'd be hilarious. But yeah, I like that, man. I do wish he could have gave his side, right?
His side,
I
man, it's more, bro.
why he decided not to standing outside because I just feel like there's more to that.
Gotta be,
Like,
bro.
we don't know if something happened on the dates. Like there's more to it.
I don't know no dude that I know that would be like with a girl, even if she did him like that, be like, man, stand outside, wait for yourself. I don't know many guys that'd be like, especially if they know she got robbed or something before, that'd be like, no, she can wait out there by herself. Man, it's gotta be something else, bro.
There's
It
something
just has to
missing,
be,
man.
bro. Because it
That's
doesn't make
just us,
sense. So
man.
guess what?
That's from the male perspective. We're reading between them lines.
Read between the lines, man. Like, hey, and we gonna do this on the guy side too. We gonna find some guy stories and we gonna read between their lines too. Like y'all be doing some grimy stuff too. Like we doing it all. But hey, top 5 ain't going nowhere though. Top 5 still around.
We'll be back.
Man, get your Stay Puft Marshmallow body built. All right, man. That's read between the lines, fella. What? What the? Hey, man, that's read between the lines, man. But y'all know, man. Let us know what y'all think about that, man. Y'all ain't gotta agree with me on this. I'm just. It's my interpretation. Yeah. It is what it is, man. But
I feel you on it.
Let's hear huh?
So I feel you on it though.
Yeah, I'm gonna post it, man. It's gonna be on here, and y'all can read it for yourself. Tell me what y'all think, man. But all right, man. So, but we still got this other segment, man. The Doc Davis' dad jokes, man. Let's see what Keith got for us today, man. What up?
Hey man, here we go, man. I got 3 good ones for you, man. The clip ain't empty yet, man. I got 3 more for you, man. Here go the first one. Listen up closely, man. All right. What did they tell Simba when he was walking too slow? What would they tell Simba when he was walking too slow, G?
What, man?
Mufasa.
Okay, man. All right.
I ain't done. I hear you in there laughing. I got one more for you. This may be my other 3. I may not get 3, but I may. All right, here we go, kid. I had this dream that the ocean was filled with orange soda, like Kel said, orange soda. The ocean was filled with orange soda. It was a fantasy.
Bro, that was stupid. Bro, that was stupid.
Here go my final one, G. Ready? I was reading this book about ancient, like just ancient times. It was going through like the Dino era, then like medieval, going through this history of time. And they said, you know how dragons breathe fire? They said a dragon would never explode, but a dino might. Woo!
Hey.
Woo! Some laughs though. In one chore.
Hey, y'all. That was Dr. Davis's dad jokes. Yeah.
Hey,
yeah.
What do you call a time? Never mind. Just go, man.
Hey. Rate these. Come on, man. Rate these.
Give me 3 out of 3. Come on, man. 3 out of 3.
Man, rate him on these, bro. Y'all think this is 3 out of 3? Come on, man. Y'all think this was 3 out of 3? You maybe got one with the Mufasa one. You may got 1.
I got 3 laughs in the house.
You may have got, well, you not finna get no 3 out of 3 here. You may have gotten 1. Maybe 1.
Dynamite.
You're the Matrix.
I'm dead. All
right, man. That's Dr. Davis's dad jokes, man. We're gonna get you another second one this time too, but Dr. Davis' dad jokes. Yeah, man. If y'all want to rate them, go in and rate them, man. Do y'all think, man?
That's a 3 out of 3. I had about 6 though. I could have kept going if you wanted. I could have kept going.
No, let's stop at that 3. Let's stop at that 3. Bub. All right, man. That's it. Dad jokes, man. Rate it. Let us know. Hit us up. All right, man. Let's drop in the topic, man. We got a little bit. We got some time. We're gonna don't spend too much time on. Well, spend how much time we want on this our podcast. You feel me? We run
You
this.
feel me?
All right, man. Our top fives, man. We did a quite a few top fives about music, the music genre. Well, music. What's our favorite music? Groups, things like that. So, man, we want to do today's podcast on music, man. The history, the culture, music. What has become, what it started at, what it's become, and where it's even going. Right. If you listen to this now, what's today? April 22nd, 2024. We got some rap beats going on right now. That's just crazy with it. We have singers rapping, just killing them on the wax. You feel
Breezy.
me? So it's a lot going on in music, man. Not just that, but people putting out double albums, redoing their work. People that's famous for one genre going off the other genre. It's a lot going on in music. But man, let's tap into it, man, where it started, where it is, and where it's going. Music changes the world, people. Like, music is a big deal. Me and Keith we got a little background in music, man. We play multiple instruments. It was an orchestra. We sang. We did all kinds of stuff. So music is we like music, right? We like melodies, harmonies. We like all the type of stuff. We know we can read music, all the type of deal. So music is real important to us. So we're just gonna jump right into it, man. The history of music, man. Let's tap into the history of music. Now, when we say the history of music, music was pretty much here from day one, right? And we go back to angelic days. Lucifer led a choir, right? So music been here forever. But where you want to start at in music history? Where you want to start at? Because we can
So
go
I'm glad.
deep.
I'm Yeah, because I'm glad, but I'm glad you said what you said when we talk about music history. Let's be clear about something. Most when we talk about the history of music, we're probably gonna focus more on the history of music in the United States, and that's where music seems to be flourishing the most. And a lot of the styles of music are coming out of American styles of music. But let's just start where it came from. You know, from an indigenous groups who using ritual ceremonies and celebrations, right? Like you said, music has always been around. There's always been some form of instrument or some form of sound making once people became civilized, right? There's always been sound making, but even using sound to communicate originally from the earlier days of First Man. So it's always been there. What we want to talk about is how music has evolved over time, because music was not only used for religious celebrations and ceremonies, it was also used to communicate, right? It used as a form of communication in early civilization. So it has a not only historical component, but it also has a cultural component and a religious component for many people. I would say for majority people around the world. But let's give props to where it started. It started with these true music, and music as we know it started with indigenous groups, because that's very key to understand when you start talking about how music thrived in the United States, right? And where music come from, because that's the ongoing debate is who music is whose, right? And I'll talk. That becomes more of a topic, because I want to answer the question of whose music is whose and why it's whose it is. Um, but before we do that, we need to know that music has very different, various uses, from communication to use it for celebration to honor, as elements of honor. Um, and so it's something to be celebrated. It's something to be recognized as a key cornerstone of cultural development and societal development. But let's just admit where music started. Stop saying, "Oh, it started here." It started with indigenous groups, and music has always been here. Music is one of the things that has stood the test of time. It evolves, but it stood the test of time.
Yeah, and I know we're gonna get into talk about whose music is whose, and one thing I just want to start off by before we get to this, like, stop saying you control any genre of music. Like, you
Yep,
don't
that's where I
have
was
no
gonna
control
go.
over nothing, bro. Like, but before that, man, let's go back into our history a little bit.
Mhm.
Um, because let's go back because we like I said we can go back to the Renaissance era,
Mhm.
go all that. But let's talk about the storytelling aspect, right? The storytelling aspect. Native Americans, African Americans, and other indigenous people, right? Or indigenous people, right? The storytelling aspect of it, right? So, if we just focus primarily start with African Americans, the slavery movement, and how we communicated through music in order to let people know where to go on the Underground Railroad or to what was happening or what they should do. How we were as people so strategic and so good at vocalizing with harmonies and with melodies, where we should go, what we should do with such preciseness, right? With such detail that allow people to get to freedom. Ain't that? But just think how crazy that is. Like if you listen to "Follow the Drinking Gourd" or "Wade in the Water," some people just sing those songs because they like how it sound. Those
Swing
are
Low
like
Sweet Chariot.
those swing on switch like those were guiding people to freedom and how our people could do it so I don't want to say effortlessly, but man, I'm sorry, musically it was kind of the way we could tell stories as people is amazing. We're still doing it till this day. I mean, more people are doing it too, but I personally find it fascinating that our ancestors were able to do that and be so effective with the communicating through music. It's kind of awesome to know.
But they're able to do that because the one thing people have to understand when you talk about the history of African American development, African Americans in music, is that we had already been doing that as a culture, right?
True.
And that's what I wanted to say was that a lot of cultures, especially early indigenous cultures, a lot of those cultures, um, this music was their historical record, right? That's how they like their memories, the way they pass down stories and historical record and and how the reason why we know some of the things about certain cultures is because of their music and the stories that the music told. But they had already before enslavement, Africans had already been using music to tell stories. They had already been using music as historical record. And they just embraced that. But like you said, it's done in a way of codes that people could not. It took people a while to decipher. It is genius. It's a gift, and it is awesome to think about the history of it and how we were able to evolve that in a way to silently revolt and protest um, our own enslavement. But most cultures early used music as historical record. That's how they passed down traditions. That's how they passed down family secrets. They did it through music. And that's why music has its own is a power within its own. It's its own magic, right? And that's
Yeah,
why everybody should embrace it. We got to stop saying who owns what.
yeah. Because right now we're talking about our African American history, indigenous people history, but Scandinavian people, Caucasian
Hmm.
people, like they had their own process also. They had their own thing too, right? They sang, right? Um, and they had a lot of dealings with instruments, right? Instrument building and making and crafting, and they did some singing, but like they told a lot of stories to their processes also. Even going to biblical, David got a whole wrote most of the Psalms where he's singing all the way through it, right? Playing with the harp and the lyre, right? So every culture, every group had its process when it came to this music thing. Um, but I think what makes music so great now is that all those pieces are like in one. All those things are like been put together. Like people taking beats from here, vocals from there, and putting in and making some dope stuff. It's like a melting pot now of just history, if you think about it that way.
Yeah, because everybody had their inputs on music, right? And that needs to be honored. But when we talk about American music, the level of music, the level of input certain cultures had on music does differ, right? But that does not say that all cultures haven't had an effect on music, right? Um, and by based on some of the instruments, some of the development, certain instruments came out of certain areas, and that were embraced into other genres. So everybody had his part, but there is a truth that some cultures had a bigger influence on American music, right? And that doesn't mean others didn't, right? And so that's why we have to honor um all contributions to music. But I think what you see from the beginning of our country to the late 60s, early 70s is that certain cultures weren't honored or given credit for their contribution, right?
Okay, so let's go ahead.
Which creates the debate that we have today and have been having.
Okay, let's jump into the great debate, right? Let's go to what's the great debate from Dr. Davis' perspective. What is the foundation of American music?
I think the foundation of American music I would say you have a maybe a 20 to 30% piece of the European aspect of instrument playing and melody through certain chords. But I think the biggest contribution to American music has been the folk music of African American people and the introduction of the drum, right? I think those are the two key components of American music. Even the first, the well, you can call it a banjo, whatever you play, that it's based on an African instrument, right? And so there's a lot of foundation of music. Even if you think about Southern Baptist hymns, came from African style of folk song and singing and the things that we talk about, like some of those Negro spirituals. And so there is this kind of push not to honor the fact that the foundation of most of American music came from people who were not indigenous to America. It came from Africans who were brought over here um, um, through slavery, right, or through indentured servitude, right. But it's like that piece, the piece of the culture that, and it's okay to embrace other cultures because we are a salad bowl / melting pot of a country, and so that's what we do. We embrace other cultures. We assimilate it into our culture, but we also got to recognize that, right? When you talk about the late 1800s, early all the way up until probably the 60s, 70s, it was taking music and cultures were taking what we consider black music and calling it their own, right? The one thing I will say is, do you have some people who did give credit to African Americans for their contributions to music, but that wasn't the majority, right? And that's why people trying to take music and make it their own. Africa's never intended it to be that way. Music was for everybody. If you think about the ancient Israelites, music was for everybody. But then there became this sense of ownership during Jim Crow. It became a sense of, this is ours. We created this, which is not the case, but it shouldn't have even mattered in the first place because music is for everyone. But we have to honor the fact that the foundations of music in American culture, you think about any American genre, it has a foundation in folk music of the African slave and indentured service. You can't find a music that hasn't been influenced by it. And so I think it's hard for some people to recognize that and say that. Still today in this country, still how far we've gone, it's still hard for people to recognize that.
So let's move forward though. Let's move forward a little bit and say, let's get past the folk music of the 1800s. Let's move into the 1920s, 30s, 40s. And we started getting introduced of I want to say did we get blues then? We started getting some of these more we started to become a genre driven nation, right? We started
Hmm.
becoming a genre driven nation. So you had the blues, you had jazz, you had um swing, you had um all these different items. So if you had to pick where genres start, which genre, and I'll tell you it's mine, which genre would have truly started this revolution of music in America? And for me it'd be the blues for the reason that you spoke about earlier, that these folk songs, things like that, for us it became oppression songs, right? And then we know what blues is. A lot of blues songs are like sad type songs, right? And it flows into that same string process. And for me, blues is where genre started taking form. Like the different shapes of genres, like from with swing and all these other type of music things that start popping up. But for me, I would say blues became the foundation of genre music.
I would go. If we talk about the United States, I would put blues or country as one A, 1B.
So so
Now,
so I got a question.
but worldwide, we had genre music way before that. We had several genres of music before that.
No, we just talking about
But
American
yeah,
history.
okay.
So
Hmm.
you just said something that I wanted to key on. You said it's either blues or country, and my question is which one is first? Because it's my 100% Kev G's opinion. My opinion is country came from blues, because if you hear the storytelling in blues and country, it started off kind of it's similar, right?
Hmm.
Country expanded, and in my opinion, I think country, and we're gonna probably debate this too. Country is probably one of the largest genres in the world.
Oh, without a
Um,
doubt.
um, it like country expanded, but the storytelling in blues and country are so similar, and it's so good. Like I think there's no better storytelling than blues and country. There's no better
Mhm.
storytelling.
I agree with
It's
that.
phenomenal. But I feel like blues had to be first because it came from a sense of pain, right? And it's that storytelling. And I feel like country had a storytelling pain also
Well,
and then it expounded from there.
so let me change what I said, because I said country, but when I say country, I'm kind of blurring the lines. I will what I want to say is folk music, right?
Okay.
I would say folk music because the introduction. Because I will say when I think blues and folk music are one B. I think country think kind of feet, but but the style of music that folk music presented, with the way they use a 4-string instrument or a 5-string instrument to drums. Um, it gave it brought a new style of music that people in America had never heard. Right? It's like this is a new form. This is a new genre. Um, that started to be embraced by the settlers in America. So I would say, but I do get what you're saying about the blues, because it became. I kind of just think blues is a morphing, like you said, is a morphing of folk music, to tell that story of oppression and so I think I would say folk music, and I think blues morphed out of that. It's like, to me it's like this. It's like you got folk music. Oh, people start liking that. So some blues. Oh, people start liking that. Like I think it's kind of country rock. I think like it's like we as a culture continues to add elements to music from folk music, right, in America. I think folk music would be the foundation, which I think has a complete basis in African style drumming and string instrument playing, complete basis. And then I think it started to evolve to tell stories, right, to tell the stories of oppression, to tell various types of story. I think blues came out of pain, um, and that's where it
Absolutely.
developed out of.
Yeah, and we do talk about drums. We mentioned drums with African American or Africans, but there were drums here already also with Native Americans, and we got to make that clear. Like Native Americans were the settlers that
But
came here didn't know.
but we're talking about the influence to American music, right? The drumming of West Africans had, in my opinion, more influence on American music than native drumming. See what I'm saying? Like the style of drumming and the type of drums. Remember, you got to remember also the type of drums. I think what had a
But
lot of influence.
I have to push back, and the only reason why I'm pushing back is because the slaves here weren't given the ability to make those drums. Native Americans had the ability to already make those drums. They already had those drums, right? Slaves weren't given the right to make them, right? Like the raw hide and the cow hide that the Native Americans used, like that
But
was here.
I'm not talking about the development of the drum or the material to make the drum. I'm talking about the type of drum and the sounds the drum made were based on African drums, right? They're based on African drums.
We,
The sound,
I get what I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying, but I get what you're saying, but
I'm talking about the influence to American music,
mm-hmm.
right? I'm saying
So
like,
and I get that because Native America was so isolated from American, like then I get that.
not by their own choice.
Yeah, so I get that. I get that. Let's just keep moving forward in this history thing, right? So let's keep moving forward. We got introduced of disco rock. And I don't know if we want to jump into this yet, but it cultural appropriation, right? And we just talked about now. It was talked about back then. It was really heavy on Elvis, right? When he said he appropriate cultural appropriation of our music, of African American music. We got it right now. They say Eminem doing it, right? And other Caucasian Americans or Caucasian in general or appropriating music, right? So, do you want to jump into cultural appropriation right now, or
I
do you want?
100% would love to. All right, let's just be honest, American people, that music was culturally appropriated. It 100% was. There was music. There was singers, African American singers, musicians who would play these great pieces of music, and they would be taken by their white counterparts and made into whole records and still the song. That 100% happened. So we have to honor that. Like we have to know that that's a part. I think one thing we got to understand as Americans, why are we so afraid of our history? It happened. Either we gonna grow from. We can't hide from it. It happened. We have groups who music was stolen, and people made a lot of money off of their music. That happened. That happened during the Jim, not only in the Jim Crow South, it happened in the North. And it just simply did. It happened not only with music, but it happened with poetry. It happened with, there was a lot of things from the African American community that were appropriated, right? But specifically, music was probably was one of the greatest ones. I will say this, because you brought up two people. You brought up Elvis and you brought up Eminem. I will say this. Elvis did culture, two different people, but I do think Elvis did culture appropriation music. But one thing you have to give him a smidge of credit for, a smidge of credit. He told everybody that his music had a gospel base. He was very clear. A Southern Baptist, African, or an African Episcopal Church foundation. He was clear about that. Now, did he culture appropriation music? Yeah, 100%. Did some people not get credit for some music? 100%. Also, I think there's a term, like there's a line by Eminem. They talk about Eminem culture appropriation. Eminem's 100. And Eminem, and we are Eminem fans. I'm not just saying this because I'm a fan, right? Eminem is not culturally appropriating music. He's not.
Nope.
And one thing you have to give Eminem credit for, Eminem straight out said, "What I am doing is black music." This he's come out and said that on several occasions, and everybody talking about the line where it said, use black music so selfishly to get myself wealthy. That was a sarcasm for
He does it all the time. It's
society,
satire.
not giving black musicians credit for what they have put in American society. It was considered white society. That was complete sarcasm, but people took that, oh yeah, he admitted that he's still in black. That's not what he was saying. He was saying that this is black music and we need to honor it as black music. And he said that. That doesn't take away from the fact that there are people who do not give the African American culture credit for certain genres of music. Country. I mean, that doesn't take away from that.
So to stay on the Eminem part real quick, I think, and just not just Eminem, but cultural appropriation in general. People got to know what a cultural appropriation is, right? It's taking something and saying it's yours when it's not.
Yep.
If you learn a style, if I, let's say, I'm not gonna, let me switch out from music to something else. If I learn how to speak Spanish, and I say I learned to speak Spanish, I'm not Spanish, but I learned to speak it, I love the language, blah blah blah. I'm not appropriating the Spanish language. I learned it, right? I'm not saying I'm Spanish. Eminem was not saying this is my music. I own. I did everything. Like I created this. He's not saying that. Elvis didn't say he did it. Like he did appropriate some of it, but like he actually took music, right, and he's put it like. But Eminem's not saying that he started this rap thing. He's not saying any of that. So how is that cultural appropriation? Like so people have to actually understand what the phrase means. Like don't just jump in and say, oh, he's rapping our music and he said he's a like, and that's why I think people mad. Because he's doing it at such a high level. People say he's the best at it and he's not white and he's not black. So all of a sudden he appropriating because he's not black, but people say he the best. That ain't his fault. He better than y'all, man. Like how's that like? How's it like if Luka Doncic becomes the best, or not Luka Doncic, the boy who won MVP,
Joker.
The Joker, people mad because Joker won MVP because he's white and mostly the black players won that, right? He didn't ask
or
for them,
because he's not American.
Yeah, he didn't take like he like this is mine. We serving or whatever it is. We own. We're the MVP. He earned it, man. He earned it. If Eminem is doing this rap thing and he's the best, he's earned it. If we do something as a black culture and we become the best at it, and people say we're the best, Michael Jordan, we earned it. Stop trying to always label people that do something that's supposed to be somebody else's as cultural appropriating. That term is starting to get annoying.
Yeah, but you also have people who are honoring the people of the other culture genre who give him the credit, right? If you listen to his song, he when they talk about who the best, he's like he goes Jay-Z, Tupac. He names all. He don't hear him say Vanilla Ice, Marky Mark. He names all the top black artists. Even when he say you take some Biggins and Pac, you mix them up in a pop sprinkle. That's all black artists. So he's giving homage to the rappers before him who grew the genre. Even Uncle Cracker, when he drift away, right? He's giving honor to the ritual, and that's what I'm saying. Like, and we always take it as cultural. That's not that. That just, we got to stop confusing talent with cultural appropriation, right?
Exactly.
But we also, on the flip side, we got other people need to start giving honor where honors due. And that's one thing I do like about the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I do like now they're starting to let people, well, they've been doing this for a while, but they're letting rappers in, they're letting like other
producers
genres in, and giving them honor to the fact that these are foundations or branches of rock and roll. But I think that I love that they do that. They just put Missy in, right? So I do like that, but we have to understand what culture appropriation is, right? And it is, and when somebody's giving us honor, our culture honor for what we do, it's okay to say thank you, right? It's okay to say, man, like it's okay to say thank you. Like, nah, not they're not always stealing.
Yeah, and I think it's not not I don't say ego thing. It's a it's we don't we believe it's ours. We believe we own it, and we don't want nobody to be better than at it than us.
Hmm.
Like we don't want people to be better at it than us, man. I'm like like my sack record that Eureka got broke, man. I want somebody to break my record, bro. And
Hmm.
he, a white kid broke my like. Why are we hold on? So, like people gonna say, black people only got so much. We gotta hold on tight to what we got. No, how about we go out and be better? How about we go out and,
Hmm.
and create something better and do something better?
Elevated.
How about that? How about that? Don't hold on to it. Let's do more. Like, but man, like we gotta get out. We gotta get out our own way, with, especially when it comes to music. But it's a lot going on in music right now.
But before you
So
even get to what's going on, the beef in the music, I want to talk about something because we talk about the history of music, and but like you said, we have to elevate and just keep music growing. And I feel like I don't know about you, but it's starting to die. Like it's starting not to have the story. It's starting not to have the um the cohesiveness of that music used to bring. Like we could talk about the effects of mumble rap all day, right? And how that is that or this like super sexualized rap that we're getting, or we could talk about um just how music itself is losing its identity, and then how do we get that back, right? Because now what's going, and you're gonna bring this up in a second. Now it's turning into beefs, right? Instead of saying, "Hey, let's bring it back," because R&B's, I'm sorry, R&B's dying, and I hate it because I love R&B. I wouldn't say I wouldn't say it's dying. It's withering. Isn't it? It'll never die. Um, but it's turning it, instead of uplifting and elevating music culturally, whether that's country, whether that's rock, it's becoming beefs. It's becoming competition, rather than the storytelling and the what it used to be. I don't know if we'll ever get it back though.
so one thing I will say is I 100% agree that we lose the storytelling. The only genre I think is holding strong is country,
Country.
but it's starting to waver a little bit too. But country is it's always held strong and it's there, but it's starting to move a little bit. But before we get into all this stuff, what's going on now, this we got to talk about real quick, how music influenced like our current cultures, right? How what's it doing? I think this is lead right into what's going on right now with everything that's going on in the industry. But like, how does it shape the identity of who we are as people, white, black, and different? And and the unity and the division some of it causes, right? Because there's so much,
Hmm.
especially with the political aspect and what like people don't even want certain songs played at the Republican and Democratic convention. Like there's so music is so powerful and it can change so many people's thoughts about stuff that things like that happen where don't play my song at the Democratic
Yeah,
National Convention or Republican National
yeah.
Convention because like it's crazy how much new powerful music is to do that, how it changes
Hey,
environments and cultures.
just say it. Music has been weaponized. That
Yeah, 100%.
music is being weaponized, right? And it's sad. It's sad that music is being weaponized, whether that's for political gain, whether that's for a societal gain,
Monetary
whether
gain.
that's for monetary gain, whether that's for position in a neighborhood. It's just it's becoming more of a weapon than a celebratory, um, less unified. Because I even think about some of the late 2000 rap, early, like some of that could they had its issue, but you always had a song or two on that album that just had everybody like unified. I don't
Happy,
care
bro.
who you was. You was happy getting to the dance floor and everybody's having fun. But now it's not about that. Even
Yeah,
some
I
of the
mean,
dangerous music got you to the dance floor.
yeah, we can go back a little bit farther, even with like we talk about the political involvement of things, right? Let me not say it started because it started from the beginning, but you saw when the federal government got truly involved with people like NWA, Public Enemy, when they got involved with Eminem, taking him to court on some of the stuff he said. Well, he said like it's crazy how the government put their hands into that. Tupac, right? Um, and how now it's I won't say it's controlling music. It's the government. They have their way of always wanting to touch something and manipulate it
Hmm.
and change it and to distort it in a way that I don't think they personally try to create divisiveness, right? I don't think sometimes our government do. Like right now, our government is whatever it is, but I don't think it's always was to create divisiveness. I thought sometimes it was for to try to do the best thing, but it was the best thing for who, right? The best thing for who and what set of people. And so it's crazy how you can look back on our history and tie every music issue to a political agenda. Like you can tie every NWA thing was a political agenda, Tupac political agenda, Eminem political agenda. We're gonna keep getting it. Like right now, like I said, the conventions can't do play my song, political agendas, right? And do you think that's ever gonna die though? Do you think that's ever gonna be a time where music is not gonna be directly involved in political agendas?
No, I don't think so. And the reason why I say that is because you have a lot of musicians who are now taking political stances,
Yeah, that's
right?
true. That's true.
So you have and I'm not right or wrong. They can do whatever they want. You have people like Kid Rock, who's avid Republican, who going to decide. You got people like let's stay in the same culture. You have Eminem, who seems to always go
Total
Democrat.
opposite.
You did right. So you have political people that are campaigning for, and also holding conventions for and fundraisers for political people, right? So I don't think it'll ever go away, unless we start embracing music for what it is and the unity that it brings, instead of using it, weaponizing it to be divisive. But I don't know if we'll ever get back to that point because of the political climate of our country. I don't know I don't know if there's any going back. And that's sad to say, um, because I think music should just be music, right? It shouldn't be. And then some people write music for political reasons, to address political issues. Um, but I think it's not about what's written per se. I think it's more about the musicians taking a political stance, and that's more visible. That's more. There's more doing it now, and so I think it's gonna have a political a small political tie to it. But you know what? I want to get back to. I want to get back to just music. Like I said, music just being music, and I want to get rid of the term old school. Right? I think we should just call them classics. Right? Because there's just music. Just something that just doesn't die. Right?
Yeah.
It's not old because I can pull up a Temptation song right now, and it's just like they were singing it yesterday. Right? Um, we got to get back to honoring the classics and honoring musicians rather than competing about whose genre is whose. Because I don't care. I like country. I didn't like country until we went to Blackburn. Now I like country. I like country. I like soft rock. I don't care who is saying whose music is whose. I just like the music. But when it becomes a competition, a cultural competition, that's when it becomes a problem, right? Instead of just loving music for loving music. And we just got to get back to that mindset.
You said we need to get back to musicianship, and I'm just got to be real with you. We're not going to get back to it. It's gone. I mean, let me say it's gone. It's still going to be there because, like you said, music lives forever. But I don't think going forward, and I'm gonna tell you why, that musicianship is going to be relevant. AI.
Mm-hmm.
AI has changed the game completely. Where you don't even like. We're gonna talk about. Let's jump into the beefs too. Drake just did a beef song. This song to Kendrick Lamar and I believe Rick Ross, and he used AI voices of Tupac and Snoop on the track.
Snoop, yeah.
Um, so AI literally AI is gonna change the world. Period for everything. I do graphic design. Graphic designers, y'all better learn to do AI because you don't learn to do AI, you're gonna be out of a job. AI is totally taking over. It's scary. AI is scary as heck. But with music, AI is going to go and nobody's playing instruments. People are creating beats with AI. They're not playing instruments anymore. They're creating the beat with AI.
Yeah.
You're not going to get people like I'm learning to play. I'm teaching myself to play the guitar right now. I'm going to be a nomad with that guitar. I think the guitar, actual playing the guitar, is going to become eventually, not no time soon, but it's going to become obsolete. Right, and it's sad to say, but that musicianship and honoring the note of the music, the harmonies of the music, the putting it together and bring. You only got a handful of people right now that's truly about that.
Mm-hmm.
Everything else now is promoting it. Right, it's all about getting the right face on the app, sing the song, and it's not about the producers who putting it all together. They don't get much credit at all for what they put
Mm-hmm.
together. So I think it's a dying art and it's sad and I hope it don't die. I hope it so there's some type of research, but in life there's always a resurgence, right? There's always
Mm-hmm.
a resurgence of something. And I hope that the musicianship come back because there's nothing like somebody that commits to their art and go all in, right? And think about how this harmony hit this one and how this drum gonna hit against this sim. Like people that think that deep of it, those people are rare, man, and they're phenomenal at what they do, and we can't lose that in music. Um, but if you want to get into these beats real quick, and we just like
Real quick, but that's also why, and it's not really per se instrument, sound, harmony, but that's also why I like battle rap, right? Because there's an art to it, right?
yeah,
You nobody gonna be able to truly ghostwrite for me in battle rap. Nobody's gonna be able to use AI in battle rap. You got 5 minutes.
put
You
some
got
work
five
in.
minutes to put some work in to hit them in a juggler or whatever you gotta say face to face on the stage. That regardless, people say, oh, it's grungy rap or whatever you think about battle rap, think it. I love it. You can think about whatever you want. But the art that's associated with battle rap, you can't deny. There's an art form to that.
I
Right.
agree.
I'm not using auto tunes. I'm pen and paper. And I think that's where Eminem's frustration comes to, like Eminem 50 Cent on, like they're still putting pen to paper.
They're
They don't got no
writing.
writer. They pen, and so I think that art form, even
That's
in
the
that
art.
genre of rap, it's losing art, and I think that's the frustration that's coming with some of the older artists is that they're getting frustrated that the art form is being lost.
Yeah,
And
I
so,
agree.
like you said, who knows if it ever comes back?
But I can tell you somewhere where some art form one lost that, boy. I'll tell you this right now. Before we get on out of here, man, talk about these group. Let me just say about first beef I want to talk about real quick before we get out of here, man, is anybody that's mad at J. Cole apologizing for dissing Kendrick, y'all need to go about your business, bro. You cannot tell nobody if it didn't set if him did. So if you don't know, Kendrick said something about the big three, which is J. Cole and Drake and him. And then J. Cole responded. And then J. Cole came out and was like, nah, like I I take that back, man. I don't want to diss Kendrick. I love Kendrick. If something didn't sit well on that man's soul
Yeah.
by doing that track, and he want to retract it, who are y'all to tell him he shouldn't retract it? Who are you? If something don't sit well in my spirit, who are you to tell me? If it don't sit well in my spirit, that's God speaking to me. I ain't got
Mm-hmm.
to listen to y'all out here. So any of y'all that got a feeling about J. Cole retracting, which his diss record, Kendrick would have had to respond because he hit him hard. For all y'all that feel like, man, this man shouldn't have responded because it's killing the culture. I heard my boy, I love Jadakiss. It's like, man, he should have did the culture. Come on, Jadakiss, man. It didn't sit right on his soul, bro.
That's a
He
grown
did what
man
his soul
move.
told him to do, bro. Grown
It's a
man
grown
move. And we don't applaud a grown man move, bro.
Right. He a sucker instead of a
Come
grown
on.
man.
When do
Come
we
on.
do that? Yeah, y'all want because y'all got this hunger for this hate and this beef. Y'all got that's another problem. We got this hunger for this hate. We got hunger for hate, bro. Now we like it because it's competition, but when it goes too far, like Chris Brown with Chris Brown and Quavo,
Oh man.
I think that might cross the line right there. That might come to something else right there. But Chris Brown killed him. Ain't no coming back from that. Quavo can write whatever he want. He can write the best 16 he want.
Man,
Ain't no coming back from that diss track, bro.
I've been telling people Chris a better rapper than he is a singer. I've been trying to
Ain't
tell
no
people
coming back.
that.
Ain't no coming back from that.
Chris, me map. Hey, bro, you gotta just take that L, bro.
Ain't no coming back from that.
You gotta take that L. You got now. I will say, in a beef, you can't step over some lines. I wouldn't say Chris fully jumped over the line, but he kind of tapped it.
Him mentioning Sweetie was a little bit like.
Him mentioning Takeoff.
Yeah, but he gave Takeoff props though.
He gave Takeoff. He gave Tucker. I'm not talking about that part. He said people wished it was you.
Keith,
yeah, he tapping the line, man.
But this is the thing though, Keith. People they didn't wish it was him, but people did say Takeoff took a bullet for what should have been Quavo's. People did say that,
but we know what Chris was saying, man. Chris tapped that line.
Chris tapped that line. Well, one thing, and we are talking about beefs, and I don't know if I say I'm trying to be respectful, man. Like, man, we got to get past the beef and stuff, man. But it is entertaining. But one thing I can say I like about Chris's beef and what he did, he said his name, bro.
Yeah,
he said Quavo.
He didn't shy away from nothing, did he?
Quavo, you. Other people like subliminals, and you just know they talking about a certain person. No, Quavo, you.
Yeah,
like that's why I would like if you're gonna beef with somebody, you're gonna be with them. Say their name. Say their name.
Mm-hmm.
Period.
Like the old beefers did, like Ice Cube, Tupac, and Nas did.
Man, say their name.
But do it not bother you? But do it not bother you that that's the only genre where beefs happen? Like, why can't we get along in the rap game, man? Like, why can't like no other genre is there a rap beef? Can you imagine 90 Degrees, NSYNC and Backstreet Boys having a beef? Like, it's the only genre where there's a flat out beef, and you gotta like why? It's always something personal because those like they environments cross so much, but all musicians' environments cross like that. But it's always the rap game where there's a beef. Is that because
Go ahead.
I don't know. I just don't. I just wonder why it's the only genre of music with beefs.
So it's not the only genre with beef, right? It's the only genre that has beefs that get put on wax. They get put on records.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's what. Yeah,
right. They get put on records, right? Because 98 Degrees. NSYNC and Backstreet Boys didn't really care for each other for a while, right? That because that was just that was just competition, right? That was just pure competition. There was no true like hatred. Rap, it's like y'all hate each other because that circle is so tight, right? It's so tight. It's just like y'all bump elbows and all that. It's like, and y'all just want to go for juggler. And know what else the problem is with it? People want it.
Yeah,
people want that to happen, bro. Right. They want to look for that to happen, and they push it, and they be like, "Oh, the media. Oh, you heard what Chris said? Oh, course Quavo gonna come back. He gotta come back, right? Because the media gonna push him to come back.
He
He
shouldn't.
should.
But
Right.
you gotta think. But you gotta think about this, man. The only reason why we knew the boy band Beast or Christina Aguilera, the only reason why we knew about any of those is because Eminem brought it up, right?
Yep.
The people who were involved in the beef, they didn't bring it up.
Yeah.
Eminem brought it up, and so it's like
Or you
people
heard
go
it
for
after the fact.
Oh, you heard, but like people like in a rap game, they go after the juggler, and like I don't even know where this stemmed from. Like I don't even know where it. I just heard
one person see what the other person get. Like it's
this Chris came out with a diss. I'm like, man, Quavo's a rap.
like, bro, like, and that's even with the Kendrick diss when he said it's just a big me. Like, I don't listen to like rap all the time like that, but I love Kendrick. I love J. Cole. I don't care for Drake too much, but I didn't know why Kendrick came out and said that about them. Right? I didn't get where that I didn't get. It's got to be a reason, but I didn't get why Kendrick came out and did that diss. I just didn't get it because there was always talk about Kendrick and J. Cole doing an album together. So I'm like,
Yeah.
I thought it was weird when he came out and did that. I'm like, where did that come from? It might be a reason, but I just don't know. Sometimes it just be random, bro. It's like people want to hear me. Like people always saying, "Who better, J. Cole or Kendrick?" So maybe I just say it's just me. Like, ain't nobody else. I don't know.
Chris didn't wait for the rebuttal.
Hey,
Chris went Super Saiyan from the beginning.
Hey, Chris
went Super Saiyan from the beginning.
Chris verse was the best reply, in my opinion, since Ether.
Kevin.
Since Ether. I mean, that's past when Drake did Meek, all that.
Hail Mary?
Response. Hail Mary is before Ether. I'm talking about since Ether.
No, I'm talking about Eminem Hail Mary.
I think Chris verse is the best since Ether, bro. I think it's better than Hail Mary.
Bro, he went Super Saiyan 2 off the bat.
Yeah. But we got like, man, I don't care what nobody say, man. We got to stop beefing, bro. We got like J. Cole did the right thing. Care what nobody say. J. Cole did the right thing. We gotta start beefing.
But,
we like this.
How does the beef enrich music? It's not enriching music.
What's better? What's better for music? If Kendrick, Drake, and J. Cole beef, or if Kendrick, Drake, and J. Cole do an album together?
Right.
What's better for the culture? What's gonna sell more? Collab, right? The collab is gonna sell more. If Chris Brown did an album with the Migos, what's gonna sell? I don't know. This got to be. This got this kind of hard. I don't know. This might have sold more, bro. I don't know, but I'm just saying though, the collab with these greats, man. If J. Cole and Kendrick did an album, come on, man.
Kevin, they not beefing in country music. They doing exactly what you're saying. They collabing,
bro.
It like you said, it's becoming the dominant genre of our society. Like it's becoming the top genre of our society, and that's due to that ain't. I'm sorry, that ain't the Taylor Swift pool. It's the fact that they're willing to work together to make music and spread music across the country. Us, we more like this. I understand people don't like mumble rap, but it's attacking it a true benefit. I don't know, man.
Before we go, I'm gonna tell you how dumb we are. I'll tell you how dumb we are. Think about every sports venue. Think all around the world, anywhere you go. What music do you hear everywhere you go? Hip hop.
Mm-hmm.
Hip hop is the most played. Hip hop is played in more places than most any other genre. But we so stupid that we don't see it and we don't know how to capitalize on it.
Capitalize off.
Just think about it. Just go to any stadium. They playing hip hop music. Go anywhere, they playing hip hop music. Even
baseball walkout songs.
Even country people are playing hip hop music, bro. Just think about the Super Bowl over the past few years. Hip hop Art John.
Has
Let me not say
dominated.
Art John. I'm trying to give it, but it's this. We don't even know how to cap. We rather beef instead of capitalize on it. Come on, man. We gotta do better. We're not even capitalizing on it. And I'm saying not we
I
because
think
I don't
first,
do music. Y'all not capitalizing on it.
I'm gonna say before we do anything and capitalize on anything, man, we gotta bring the storytelling back to all
Got to, bro.
music.
Storytelling, man. That's what
Have
make
to.
music great.
And it has to become our music, right? It has to become our music. And one day, hopefully one day,
As
they give our
people,
boy
as people.
they give our boy the credit he deserves. You know, we're Eminem fans,
Yeah.
but it has to become
Music is
our music, like a society, like everybody's.
of everybody, right? What's meant said, I'll make love to you like you want me to. I'll hold you tight, baby, all through the night. Man, you better leave them alone. You better leave
Mm-hmm.
what. Hey, and I want to say something, and I hate to. I'm not saying I hate to do this. I love to do this. Music was always meant to be worship. I'm gonna leave it at that.
I preach Bishop Eddie Long.
Always meant to be worship. Just saying. Leave it right there. Your music ain't if your music making people hate stuff, you're doing the wrong type of music. Just don't
Yeah,
let you know. They hating, you're doing the wrong type of music.
yeah. Bring back the storytelling.
I'll make love to you like you want me to.
The Matrix.
All right, man. TuVues podcast. It's your boy KFG. It's your boy Dr. Davis. Hit us up, man. We love to hear from y'all, man. TuVues podcast. Keep it
Can I
like
just say
Commissioner
one more
retired
last
man.
thing? Go Cubs, go! Go Cubs, go! Hey
Hey,
Chicago, what do you say? The Cubs gonna win.
they got a chance
Mm-hmm.
this
I didn't
year.
even know opening day against the Rangers down here was against the Cubs. I didn't even know.
Hey, that was they played, man. Our starting pitcher got injured, man. Hey, the Cubs ain't looking bad, bro. Cubs ain't looking bad, man. I'm saying.
So you're
All right,
saying there's
man.
a chance?
Well, we won it before, man. That was exciting time though.
Yeah.
All right, man. Two Views podcast, man. We out of here.
Until the next one.
Peace.